Welcome to the Business Spotlight Series. My name is Dona Kappmeyer, and I'm the CEO and firm owner of Action Coach and Capital Gain Plan Consulting in South Texas, and I will be your host for today. I'm very excited to have our special guest, Leah Flores, on our show. Leah is the owner of LaTEAda Tea Shop in San Antonio, Texas, and today we're going to speak with Leah about her journey to get to where she's at and the challenges and successes of owning and operating a business. If this is your first time on our channel, please feel free to like and subscribe so that you can get notifications when we publish new content. Well, Leah, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
I think this is going to be fun because you have what I think is a very unique business. So I'm looking forward to getting in that conversation about what it's all about and who you are all about.
Thank you so much. I really look forward to this opportunity.
Great. So let's talk a little bit about how your business is structured. What does that look like?
So I'm a sole proprietor. I started off as a franchise, and that lasted about 6 months. And then I was able to pivot and do something completely original and on my own. So I'm excited about that. It's a family business. My son-in-law is my manager. He's amazing. He left his career and came with me to try to build something for his kids and my grandkids and for the whole family. So we're really into it and we're dedicated and we're having a lot of fun slash a little bit stress.
Just a little bit, especially when you have family involved. So
Right.
that's a lot of fun. But I'm excited, right? You've got your family involved in this business. That's great.
Yep. We got some cute pictures of the grandkids on the website and we use them whenever we can.
Fantastic. Promote them. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to have grandkids one day. Maybe at this recording. No, it won't be at this recording, but one day that might happen. We'll see.
It'll happen.
Yeah. So let's talk about the business itself. Well, who does this business serve? Tell us a little bit about your company and La Ti Da Tea Shop.
So we have kind of three prongs that we're trying to make happen at once. We have a physical brick and mortar store in the Stone Oak area in San Antonio. We are literally right outside or right inside Loop 1604. That's our actual space that we reside in. We have, like I said, pivoted from the model that the franchise had going, and we've kind of leaned into the tea parties and the social, the high tea. So that's what makes us so unique. There's not a whole lot of shops that are doing that kind of full force. You can kind of find a high tea maybe at a fancy hotel, or you can find a place that maybe holds a high tea once a year for Christmas. But we're trying to have the high teas and the tea parties going all the time whenever anybody wants one. So it's been a huge hit for baby showers and bridal showers and just women and everyone getting together just to relax and take some time to really have some quality time. They will literally hang out for hours. It's pretty cool. So that's one side of the business. Then the other side is our drink. So we're sort of modeled off a little bit like Starbucks because we have all these crazy delicious drinks that are seasonal. We change our menu completely pretty much every 5 to 6 weeks basically. So, in the
Oh,
summer, we'll have at least two different menus going, different themes. We have Halloween, Valentine's, of course, right now it's Christmas. We just put out our new Christmas menu a couple of days ago. So we have all kinds of fun titles, like we have a drink called the Run Run Rudolph. We have a drink called Sleigh Ride. We have a drink called the Griswolds. So we really have a lot of fun and my daughter, actually, who's a really good cook, she is the one who really comes up with all these recipes from scratch. So they are completely original. You're not going to find them anywhere else. Apple and guava, for example. I mean, you name it, it's amazing. So that's a really fun, what we call craft drink side of things, hot or cold, based on the season. And then, of course, we can just brew up a fresh cup of tea, which, unlike Starbucks, is not going to taste like tar. It's going to taste fresh. It's going to taste amazing. It's going to be whatever flavor you want because we literally have 60 cans of beautiful loose leaf tea sitting on our shelves that you can open and smell and explore and find what you're craving and you didn't even know it. And then the third prong that we're trying to get going is the e-commerce side. So we're wanting to provide loose leaf tea for people who are not lucky enough to live near a tea shop, which is 99.9% of America, because
Yeah.
I think we're the only one in San Antonio. There might be two other kind of like little mom and pop. They don't have quite as much as variety as we have. And the thing about it is, if you've ever fallen in love with loose leaf tea or ordered it online, you're gonna be disappointed. You're gonna try something that sounds delicious, and then when you get it in your house and pay $30, you're going to say, "Wow, this is not good."
Mm,
So
mm.
we get our teas from about 7 different tea houses, and we're always looking and exploring and trying to come up with new flavors that are amazing. So we basically guarantee that anything you order from us is going to taste great. It's not going to be um, weak. It's not going to be weird. It's not going to be bitter. It's just going to be really, really good. And, like I said, we get them from 7 different tea houses. So one place might have a great coconut tea, but a terrible lavender. Another tea house might have a great lavender, but a terrible coconut. So we're just going to pull from everybody and make sure that whatever our customers have is going to be perfect.
So you mentioned 7 different tea houses. Where are these tea houses located?
They're all in the United States. Of course, all tea
Okay.
comes from Asia. We don't really grow tea in America, basically because of the elevations and the intensity, and it's just these places are centuries old, just they've been doing it. The soil is preserved, everything has to be a certain way. It's kind of like wine, wine is kind of expanded into some new, and maybe someday we will have more actual tea grown here in the US, but the tea is usually imported, and then different tea houses will blend the teas. They'll add the things that they think are delicious. And we do a little bit of that at LaTEAda. I'm hoping to get into that some more, but we don't do as much blending. But I do like to have some medicinal herbs on hand that I can add for people. So let's say you're in menopause and you want to have red clover, and that's going to help your body regulate the hormone changes. So we can add that red clover to whatever tea you might want to drink. And the real key is to find something that tastes amazing to you, because then guess what? You're going to drink it. You're going to love it, and you're going to keep drinking it every day. So if you've ever ordered any of those fun supplements or concentrates from Facebook and you get it and it's not very fun, then you just don't do it. You don't keep doing it, because you have to be able to make something a part of your routine. These teas are not meant to be a one and done. Oh, I drank a cup of green tea, now I'm good. This has to be something that's going to be part of your routine, part of your life, and it's going to get into your system, and it's going to help you with all sorts of things, depending on the tea and depending on what you need. So that's the health side, and that's a big part of what I love. Another pivot from my original franchise, because the franchise, they seem to be really more leaning into like the energy drinks, the artificial sweeteners. I
Mm,
think there's enough of that going on. That's not
yeah.
really my passion. I really want people to know about the real purity of the organic loose leaf teas and what they can bring into your life, and how they can, improve your health by basically steering us away from all of those artificial sweeteners in general that really aren't necessary, etc.
Very interesting that. So you said, I don't want to go down that path. I want to really look out for the well-being of individuals and have this be a lifestyle journey for them, and an enjoyable one as well.
Oh, very enjoyable. And from my experience, I had migraines for years. Thank God they've gone away. So menopause is my friend, because I guess whatever hormones were triggering my migraines. But the thing about that is, my migraines were very much affected by artificial sweeteners. And I'm talking all the ones that they say are natural, like stevia, monk fruit, all those things that they tell us are, oh, that's natural, that's completely fine. No, I mean, my migraines would be triggered like that anytime I put anything like that in my body. So I know
Wow.
for my own body that those chemicals, and they're basically chemicals, they have an adverse effect. They may not trigger migraines in everyone, but they're doing something. And there's enough going on in our environment where we can control what we can control. So I tell people in my shop, okay, if you want that energy drink, that's great, but it's going to have artificial sweeteners and it's going to be super sweet. And it's going to be, green tea energy again, powdered into some weird, you know. And I do offer it, and I don't, feel great about it, but some people do love it, and it's probably better than some things. But I really like to focus on the actual loose leaf tea, and that's where the bulk of my business is right now. People come in and they want a what we call a fresh steep. So we just steep that thing right there in front of you. It takes 2 to 3 minutes, depending on the type of tea. And you can drop it right over ice and have an instant fresh, I mean, fresh brewed iced tea that's clear as the driven snow. It is just beautiful.
Oh my goodness, I love what you're doing. Oh, Leah, how did you get into this business in the first place? Why'd you choose to go down this path?
Oh my gosh, that's a really good question. I've been waking up the last few years in the morning and going, why did I do this? My background is education. I was an English major. I taught high school English. I was a high school assistant principal for 20 years. And I loved that, I mean, I didn't know any better, and I never had any knowledge of business. To me, business was just a whole other realm, and I never even considered the idea. But when I came across a tea shop that was in my hometown of Kerrville, and the owner um, was a local girl that I thought was awesome, and I got to know her. And when I went into the shop and saw and tasted these amazing teas, because I've always been like, oh, I love tea, right? But that's just one type of tea.
Yeah.
Maybe the restaurant cleans their spouts and it doesn't taste like what. Um, and so I was just like enjoying this little tiny niche of iced tea, right? I was like, that's so yummy, right? And then I come across this shop, and in the middle of nowhere, Kerrville, Texas, she's got this wall of just beautiful loose leaf teas. And they're coming right out of the spout, and you're just like, my gosh, this is delicious. I mean, absolutely delicious. And people freak out because we do have a lot of HTO in the area. They're kind of H2O, something like HTO. HTO is like a tea franchise, and they're really more of a drive-through model, and they sell
Okay.
gallons, and but all their tea is artificially flavored. So it's
Huh.
a completely different thing. Like the teas in our shop are going to have pieces of strawberry, pieces of coconut, all the things that make the tea the flavor that it is are going to be in the tea. So,
Love that.
yeah, so I was just blown away, and I was like, oh my gosh. And she was, at the time, her little shop was doing great. I mean, Kerrville loved it. People were coming through there. She would see over 200 customers a day. It was the only game in town, and she was doing fabulous. So I kind of hooked up with her at that point in her journey and her franchise that she was part of at the time.
Mm.
So all things golden. And then, of course, it takes, well, in my case, 2 solid years to even get the funding and to try to go through the SBA loan process. And this whole, that just sent me on another whole journey. And
Wow.
unfortunately, I am super tenacious. So once I get an idea in my little head, I don't think about it, I just do it.
I love that.
So I just went and did and did and did, and I jumped through all the little hoops and all the fire and all the things and kept going until I had this amazing, massive, way too expensive store that is just beautiful and huge and probably way too big, but we're making it work.
Awesome. So you've had a few hurdles, but your tenacity got you through it because you said, regardless, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, I mean, once you're in a certain point, I was so excited about the idea of just sharing. I mean, of course, as a teacher, that's all you do. Basically, you just share, 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 and you try your best in English, everyone's favorite subject. So you have to figure out how to make people excited about what you're doing and what you're trying to do. And there's no money involved, literally no money.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's a thankless thing, but the joy of it is when you do get those kids excited and they are, learning and interested. So it's kind of the same passion that I have in the shop. But it's a lot easier to sell because it's so delicious. I'm not asking anyone to read a novel or write an essay or any of that. So it's
No
a
homework to turn in. Just enjoy
but
it.
of course I didn't have much overhead in the classroom either.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
So you had a franchise going into it. You pivoted from the franchise. You really are more of a now a purist, being true to what you want this business to be. What have you found from a marketing perspective that has been most effective for you?
Oh my goodness. Well, you don't know what you don't know. So you have to be really careful. And basically, I just made sure that every decision I made, I could afford it, which means it had to be really inexpensive because I couldn't afford much. By the time I got the doors opened, I was already, $400,000 in the hole easy. And that's just inventory and furniture. And I haven't even paid myself or anyone else yet. I still haven't paid myself, of course. But I had to really dig and I had to use my gut to figure out what I needed and what advice to take and who to listen to. So the thing that had helped me the most, honestly, is some online coaching, some marketing coaches that I got hooked up to. They weren't free, of course, but you get
Mhm.
what you pay for. But
Yeah,
they weren't asking for 5,000 a month and to do my marketing for me either. They were offering to teach me what I needed to know to make this work. And that's what I
awesome.
have to have. I have to be able to learn and do myself. Because I found out real quickly that you can't just hand over something and say, "Oh, yay, she's going to do it for me." It just it doesn't happen. And there's so many facets to marketing. Social media is absolutely useless. I mean, I've learned that. I even stopped caring about how many followers I had on Instagram because it really literally means nothing. So if you're starting a business and you're worried about social media followers, forget about it. It's not a thing. Um, I'm not sure what it is, but it's definitely not something that you should be putting a lot of money into. Do I use social media? Absolutely.
Mhm.
But it's not going to help me. Do I use Facebook ads? Yes. I pay Meta quite a bit of money. Right now it's about 4,000 a month, and that's not nearly
Mhm.
enough, but that's kind of the sweet spot for me where I can. And I remember talking to another franchise owner in the very beginning, and he told me he was spending 4,000 a month on advertising, and I said, "What? That's impossible. There's no way." And here I am. I'm doing it, So it is what it is, but that's basically what I've learned. You have to learn how to do it yourself, and you have to figure out what you don't know, and then you got to know it.
Awesome. We always say that you can't out earn what you learn. So you have to be constantly learning. And the more that you can learn, all right, nobody's going to care more about your business than you care about it. And that's the ideal. So the more you can learn and continually learn, the better off you are going to be.
Right, and the other thing, of course, is that I am in the shop. I am mopping. I am doing dishes. I am making grilled cheese sandwiches. I am talking to customers. I mean, I have to be there. Um, this is not at this point, um, oh, I'm going to be over here working on my social media and you guys take care
Mhm.
of the shop. I have to do it all. Um, and I'm really, 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 really working on not getting burned out. That's
Beautiful, because that
that's my
that will do it.
that's my main concern right now because I'm pretty exhausted, but every day I wake up with new ideas and a new plan, and some of them have actually worked, so that's cool.
I love that. Yeah, it's tough, all right? It's small business when, especially when you're getting started, or even when you've been in it for a long time, right? When you are in the day-to-day nonstop, at some point you get to a point where it's going to be, you get to that burnout point. And what, we try to do as coaches is prevent folks from getting that point, and or if they're there, let's get them out of it. So, and that requires some decisions and learnings and the like. And a lot of the things that you're checking the boxes on are the right things to do, but it takes time as well. They say that, what you overestimate the things that you can do in 1 year and accomplish in 1 year, but you underestimate what you can accomplish in 10 years. So it takes a little time.
That's so
And
funny you say that because recently I I decided because I was able to retire from education fairly young, 55, 56, I
nice.
think. something like that. Of course, my retirement's not great, but I do get insurance, so that's nice. Um, but I thought this was, I would say in my mind, a get rich quick scheme, you know.
Ah,
I
gotcha.
I thought I'm gonna be rolling in money. We're gonna have so much fun. We're gonna have
Yeah.
the kids' colleges all saved up for, because I mean I've been living off a teacher salary all these years, so I'm not a wealthy person, and I don't need to be. I don't have any interest in that really. But just to be comfortable and be able to get
Mhm.
what you want and pay off the house, stuff like that. So, but it's funny because you said that. Yes, just yesterday I was thinking, you know what, this is a 10-year plan. Like I was 55-ish when I retired. And so this is my little sick till I'm 65 when most people retire. This is going to be my journey, and I'm going to have to figure out how to make this work. But I can do it a lot better in 10 years than I could in two, for sure, because the
Good.
just take time. And they were showing me figures when, the franchise 60, oh, you'll be making 60,000 a month, in 3 months, you'll
Mhm.
be golden. And I was like, yes, all right, and they're showing me these literal figures, and I mean, I guess they were real. I mean, I haven't taken them to court for fraud, but um, it's also small towns. So,
Mhm.
I in San Antonio in this beautiful shopping center in the heart of Stone Oak, like one of the most affluent areas probably in the city, and I'm in a cornfield. I might as well be sitting, on what's that little town called? I might as well be in Medina, I mean, even Medina has better marketing than what I have because Medina is a destination for people to go to. So, so yeah, it's been really interesting. So it's kind of like I'm there, I'm in the heart of everything, but I'm nowhere at the same time.
Yeah.
So
It's tough. It's tough with franchises. And I hear that story very often because they've got to paint a picture of, all the positive things, but then reality sets in because we're dealing with demographics and we're dealing with different cities and there's all these factors that are not taken into consideration. And so it really requires somebody with a lot of forethought, a lot of tenacity like yourself to fight through it, to see through it, to say, what do I need to do to make this successful? Because it's not, if it was easy, then
everybody.
everybody would be doing it, right? Everybody would be successful.
And I, when I opened my shop, there are three other stores going into large cities: Houston, Phoenix, and maybe another suburb of Dallas or something. But anyway, those three shops closed down within the first year, literally lost everything. And a couple of them had built brick and mortar buildings, like freestanding buildings. So they didn't even have a lease. They owned a building, which that's millions right there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
um,
tough.
so it was really, really bad. And I'm not sure, I think that's where my English degree paid off because I composed a few very carefully worded emails. And all of a sudden I was going to be released to fly and be free. And they were so sweet to do that.
Well, and we're thankful that you've been releases too as well because it sounds like you've got uh, a great shop and with great products. And so we want to make sure our folks go visit LaTEAda. So you got a 10-year plan,
Yeah.
right?
No,
And
the other
so what
thing
do things look like next 3 to 5 years for you? What
Well,
does it look like?
I was gonna say, one of the things I'm kind of working on because, you're just constantly building up the local traffic. That just takes time, word of mouth, people find out about us, you keep putting out the ads, you keep bringing people in. So that's gonna take care of itself. But my other little brainchild, because I've been seeing these transformations and these groups come in for the tea parties and the high teas, and they literally sit for hours, like I was saying earlier. They're relaxing. They're just picking out teas. Like, yeah, let's try this one. Let's try this one. Everybody's sharing. Everybody's visiting. They're laughing. I mean, it's just like, and they come up to me afterwards and they really are just like almost in tears. They're like, this was so wonderful. This was so relaxing. Thank you so much for I mean, they're just really like, I'm like, okay, okay, calm down. But I thought, man, I'm really hitting a nerve here. So part of my dream is to do, and I really hate to use this word, but it's kind of a Mary Kay idea. Like if I can teach people how to throw their own tea parties, no matter where they are in the country, And I provide the delicious tea to make sure that everybody loves it. But you just have your friends and family together and you have these special moments and you create your own tea party. So I've got these 5 email sequences together that people receive and they get a sample of my teas, the most popular ones, and then they get to see how, like, okay, step one, find your local estate sale. Hit some thrift stores if you're in a small town. Find those beautiful little teacups that nobody had room for and nobody thought they could use. And email all your friends and say, hey, who has a teacup collection that you want to bring? Those things are so precious. And people just get such a kick out of them because we don't have those anymore. We don't take the
Right.
time as a culture to really value quality and beauty like they used to. I mean, that was an art form. So they're out there, believe me. You can go and you probably have some in a box somewhere in your
Yeah.
house right now that grandma boxed up,
Yeah.
no one's touched. And
Yeah.
you're about to have the most fun you've had in a while. No alcohol unless you want it. Middle of the day, morning, doesn't have to be a nighttime endeavor. You don't have to stay up till 1 in the morning. College kids can do it. Grandma can do it. The family can do it. Your friends can do it. Your coworkers. You can turn it into a training session at your office and have a beautiful tea party. You will not believe the vibe that it creates. So, there's countries in the world where there's tea time every afternoon. And there's companies in this country who've adopted that. Maybe they have somebody from England or somebody from India in their company, and they know how special that time can be. So they say, "Hey, you know what, guys? We're going to introduce this this tea time to in our place of work, and we're going to all get together and we're going to relax and we're going to debrief and we're going to let go of all the things that are bothering us and we're going to clear the air." You know how that goes.
Yeah.
Being on a campus, a high school campus, there's lots of air to be cleared all the time.
Of course.
Yeah,
Wow,
so
what a great idea. That's a great concept.
yeah, I'm really hoping it takes off. Like I said, what I have right now is I have the emails together to kind of give you some step by steps, the menu, how easy it is, different ways to handle that if you want to, delegate, potluck, tea party, you name it. It can be so much fun.
Oh my goodness. Absolutely. Absolutely. Looking forward to learning more about that. And we don't, as a society and even especially being in the business owner space, it takes a lot for us to relax. And if you can be intentional about carving that time out, those folks that have given you feedback about and even almost in tears, that's probably the most relaxed they've been in a very, very long time that they haven't been able to do in a while.
That's right. And the guys, I hate to leave out the guys and keep focusing on the women, but as women, we just have that social need. We need to have the people to share our energy with and bounce things off of and commiserate. We're such compassionate creatures. Not that men aren't, but
All right.
but they,
Just different.
different, yeah, it's just a different Venus and Mars, so you have to create those times. And it's not, and the great thing about the tea parties, it's not just two ladies sitting there gossiping, the two privately airing their laundry, but it's everyone together. And so naturally it's steered in a positive direction. Someone's always going to ping it in a place where it's hopeful, it's compassionate, it's positive, and it stays that way. People are laughing and just having I've never seen a tea party turn ugly.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yes, yes. I mean, no one's it's just not a place where you're going to air those frustrations. It's going to be a place where you're going to make each other light and make each other feel less burdened.
Love that. I'm already relaxed right now just thinking about it, and I haven't even done one. So this has been fantastic. If you could give one piece of advice to the people who are watching our show, what would you give to them as business owners?
Well, let's see. I mean, I had two ingredients that I relied on heavily. The first thing is I had a product that I knew was good, and I was able to really believe in it and feel confident selling it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I I can't give advice to someone who's trying to hawk something that's not, you know, a value to people. So if you have something like that, and then the other thing I had, location, location, location. So even though my rent is like the hardest part of my overhead and it's so high, I don't think I could reproduce this in another spot. You know what I mean? Like it is important to have a decent location. So if you're in a brick and mortar, you got to have those two things. If you've got a really terrible location, you can overcome it, but it's going to be hard. So if you're just starting out, that's one of the things I would really encourage you, because I saw a lot and I had to go out on my own and find a spot because they were sending me these realtors from all over the place that weren't even in the town and didn't know about the city. And I was getting all kinds of, oh, try this place. And I was like, no, you know, and sure enough, I came across a place that was perfect. So your location and then your product has to be something that you believe in. If you have those two things in place and you have the hard work, you're probably going to be okay, but you do have to learn that marketing because everyone, you know, if nobody knows about you, you can have all those ingredients all day long and you're not going to have any customers.
Yeah, we're no longer in a society of build it and they will come. You have to really put yourself out there.
And I really get it because I mean, people are so busy, so overwhelmed already. They don't really have time in their mind because there's so many small businesses that I hear about going out and meeting and networking and doing the things that I need to do. And I'm trying to get people to come in. And then they tell me about their small business and I'm like, oh my God, I haven't heard of it. I probably won't go seek it out. Like you really have to find something that's going to speak to people to the point where they're actually going to take action and act on it. And that's really, really hard these days.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Is there anything else, Leah, that you'd like to share with our audience? Anything else that you would like for them to know about you or LaTEAda?
Oh, I mean, just if you are looking for something that you know that you want to bring into your life, this is a really a 4,000-year-old commodity here. Loose leaf tea is the oldest beverage next to water.
Hmm.
There is no comparison to what I have in my shop with tea bags. Open up a tea bag, spill it on your counter, and let me know what you think it is because I literally don't know. I think they sweep up the tea houses of Asia, they put it in a giant cargo ship, and they send it to us to drink because it is not loose leaf tea. You know, there's chaff, there's wheat chaff, and I think that's pretty much what we're brewing. I could be wrong, you know, but I would love for you to try out the teas. I do have some offers online for free samples. If you're not in San Antonio, if you are in the San Antonio area or you're going to be in the area, I would really encourage you to take the time to come in and check it out because people are never disappointed. They're pretty excited once they get in there. It's I wish I could share smells over the screen, but I can't.
Me
But that
too.
yeah, it's pretty much the you know, the prize at the finish line there because you open up these cans and it's just the whole room fills with these gorgeous aromas, all organic, all natural. And you know, no, I didn't come up with this in a lab somewhere, you know, how to fix whatever ailment is new. And if you scroll on Facebook long enough, you're going to realize that those are all just, you know, I mean, some of them might work, but this stuff is for real. It's been around for thousands of years. You just got to know where to get it and how to enjoy it.
Very good. So what's the best way for our folks to contact you? Website,
Yeah,
address?
everything's there. LaTeAda.net
Okay.
is the website. We're right there on 1604. If you're in San Antonio and you know where the Trader Joe's is, there's only two of them. So the one out on 1604 at Stone Oak is directly across the highway from us. So if you look out the Stone Oak, you know, look out the Trader Joe's window, you'll see us right across the way. We're super easy to get to. We've been fun fact. Uh, the construction has been a nightmare, and we've been in the middle of that ever since the day we opened. So,
Mm.
you know, I'm not alone, and I know there's a ton of businesses that have been dealing with that. I mean, I know people literally say, "I'm not going near 1604 until that thing is done," but it's not that bad, okay? Not that bad.
It's not.
It's
Please
really
go.
at 5 o'clock, I wouldn't recommend it, but any other time of day, we literally have our own. I call it the LaTeAda exit. They call it Stone Oak Parkway, but it's LaTeAda exit. And as soon as you get off that ramp, you just turn right in. You're going to see P. Terry's, you're going to see Silos, you're going to see Costa Pacifica, and then at the very front of the shopping center, there's LaTEAda. So you'll literally park 5 feet from the door and hop on in. It's the easiest thing. We have curbside pickup. You can call, you can order online. We have DoorDash. But I would encourage you to come in and really check out the smells and really experience it and just sit and have a pot of tea. We have tea for two, so you can just have all the china and all the special stuff and sit for 20 minutes and sip on your tea and have tea time whenever you want it
And relax.
and relax. Relax. And this is all going to be over soon, y'all. So just enjoy it while we can.
You bet. Well, Leah, thank you for sharing your story. This has been a lot of fun, and I know that our audience is going to find your information and your experience very valuable.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you giving me the platform and allowing me to share everything we're doing. It's been a ton of fun. I got the QR codes here. So if you have your phone out and you want to zap those, you'll find out a lot of information and be directed to all the right places.
Awesome, awesome. Well, this has been the Business Spotlight series with Donna Kappmeyer from Action Coach and Capital Game Plan, along with Leah from LaTEAda Tea Shop. Please be sure to like and subscribe so you can continue to see our new content and great content. And thank you for being with us today. And Leah, thank you again for being on our show. What a blast.
Thank you so much, Donna.
All right, bye for now.